Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Francisca Uy, Compliance Corporate Affairs and Legal Directors of CIMB Niaga. This is an additional media disclosure to update our latest corporate action to all stakeholders as part of good corporate governance practices implementation. We have just completed our annual general meeting of shareholders AGMS today, Monday, April 15, 2019. And we would like to share to all stakeholders of CIMB Niaga the summary of our AGMS resolution as follows. The first agenda. First, approve the annual report of the company for the financial year ended on December 31st, 2018. 2. Ratify the company's consolidated financial statements for the financial year ended on December 31st, 2018, which was audited by the public accounting firm of Tanudireja Wibisana Rintis and Rekan, member firm of PricewaterhouseCoopers Global. Third, ratify the annual supervisory report of the Board of Commissioners or BOC and the Sharia Supervisory Board SSB of the company for the financial year ended on December 31st, 2018. 4. Acquit and discharge the members of the Board of Directors or BOD and BOC including the SSB of the company for the management and supervision performed in the financial year 2018 as reflected in the annual report 2018. The second agenda. Approve the appropriation of net profit of the company for financial year 2018 in the total amount of approximately 3.5 trillion rupiah consolidated with the following description. A. Distribution of cash dividend maximum 20% of net income of the company or amounted to maximum 696.5 billion rupiah, which will be distributed on May 15, 2019. B. The company does not set aside any amount of its net profit of 2018 financial year as statutory reserve funds, since the amount of statutory reserve funds of the company have complied with the minimum requirement amount as stated in the prevailing regulations. C. Book the remaining 2018 net profit after dividend distribution as retained earnings to finance the company's business activities. The third agenda. 1. Approve the reappointment of Angelique Dewi Daryanto as a CPA and public accounting firm Tanudireja Wibisana Rintis and Rekan, a member firm of PricewaterhouseCoopers Global as a public accountant and a public accounting firm. 2. Delegation of authority to the BOC to appoint other public accountant and public accounting firm if there is an objection from OJK to the appointment of public accounting firm, or the said public accounting firm conduct partnership restructuring to become a different public accounting firm. And approve the proposed honorarium for public accounting firm for financial year 2019 is maximum 7.5 billion rupiah. The fourth agenda. Approve the appointment Mr. Didi Syafruddin Yahya as Commissioner and Mrs. Sri Bidowati as Independent Commissioner, with the tenure effective after obtaining approval from OJK until the closing of the fourth annual after the effective date of the appointment. With such appointment, the composition of the BOC of the company is as follows. 2. Approve the reappointment of all members of SSB, namely Professor Dr. M. Kwari Shihab as Chairman, Professor Dr. Fatur Rahman Jamil as Member, and Dr. Yulisar Jamaluddin Sarrego as Member, effective since the closing of the meeting until the closing of the fourth AGMS after the effective date of the appointment. Therefore, the SSB of the company has not changed. 3. Approve the appointment of Mr. Tigor M. Sihaan as President Director, effective since the closing of the meeting until the closing of the fourth AGMS after the effective date of the appointment. Therefore, the BOD of the company has not changed. 4. Approve the delegation of authority to the BOD of the company with the right of substitution to restate resolution regarding the change of composition of the BOC of the company, reappointment of all members of the SSB of the company, and reappointment of Mr. Tigor M. Sihaan as President Director of the company to report to the competent authority and with the due regard to the foregoing to perform any acts as may be required in accordance with the laws and regulations. The fifth agenda. 1. approve and determine the salary or honorarium and other allowances for BOC of the company for 2019 at the maximum of 20.4 billion rupiah gross, and approve the delegation of authority to the President Commissioner of the company to determine the salary or honorarium and other allowances for each members of BOC. 2. Approve and determine the salary or honorarium and other allowances for SSB of the company for the financial year of 2019 at the maximum of 1.7 billion rupiah gross, and approve the delegation of authority to the President Commissioner of the company to determine the salary or honorarium and other allowances for each members of SSB of the company. And 3. Approve the amount of the tantiem or bonus of the BOD for the year of 2018 at the maximum of 94.5 billion rupiah gross, including the provision of variable remuneration in the form of share or share-based instrument issued by the company, and approve the delegation of authority to the BOC to determine the amount of tantiem or bonus for each members of BOD. 4. Approve the delegation of authority to the BOC of the company to determine the remuneration, holiday allowances, and other allowances for the BOD and for each member of BOD of the company for the financial year of 2019, with regard to the recommendation from the Nomination and Remuneration Committee of the company. The sixth agenda. 1. Approve the update of the recovery plan which has been prepared and submitted by the company to OJK on November 28, 2018, which consists of A. Updating trigger levels in order to comply with the current regulations, and B. Updating the adequacy and feasibility of debt or investment instruments that have capital characteristics possessed by systemic banks through the issuance of the subordinated bonds 3 Bank CIMB Niaga year 2018, which has been conducted by the company. 2. Approve the delegation of authority to the BOC and BOD of the company to perform each and all action required in relation with the update of recovery plan by taking into account POJK regarding recovery plan for systemic bank. The seventh agenda. 1. Approve the plan of share buyback from the public shareholders at the maximum of 20 million shares and at the maximum cost of 25 billion rupiah, including transactions and tax costs. With regard to the prevailing regulation, the plan of share buyback has obtained the OJK approval and will be completed not later than 18 months after the resolution of this meeting. The purpose of share buyback of the company is to fulfill the provisions stipulated in OJK regulations, particularly to the provision of variable remuneration in the form of share or share-based instrument issued by the company to the parties categorized as material risk taker or MRT of the company for the period of 3 years. 2. Approve the delegation of authority to the BOD of the company to conduct the share buyback in accordance with the prevailing regulations. 8th agenda. 1. According to OJK Regulation Number 30 POJK 0.4 2015, the meeting reported the accountability of the use of proceeds of public offering as of December 31, 2018, whereas the funds obtained from each shelf registration bonds 2 of Bank CIMB Niaga Phase 4 year 2018 in the amount of 1 trillion rupiah net. Shelf registration Mudarabah 1 Bank CIMB Niaga Phase 1 year 2018 in the amount of 993.3 billion rupiah net, and subordinated bonds 3 Bank CIMB Niaga year 2018 in the amount of 144.4 billion rupiah net have all been used in accordance with the plan to use the proceeds as disclosed in the respective prospectus. 2. According to OJK Regulation Number 51 POJK 03 2017, the meeting reported the Sustainable Finance Action Plan of the company year 2019 to 2023, which has been submitted to OJK Banking Supervisory on November 27, 2018. Sustainable Finance Action Plan is short-term 1 year and long-term 5 years activity plans. 3. Due to issuance of amendment of IDX Regulation Number 1A, specifically in relation there are no provision on independent director position in the public listed company, the meeting reported the deletion of position of independent director in the company. Therefore, the independent director position of Francisca Uy, compliance director concurrently as independent director as reported on AGMS dated April 25, 2017 is deleted effective since the closing of this meeting. However, it shall be emphasized that all members of BOD of the company are independent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our AGMS result for today. We are very grateful to share this information to all of you, our respectful stakeholders. We hope this disclosure can represent our commitment in applying and continuously enhancing our standard of good corporate governance practices. Thank you and have a good day.